Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Aryè Campos, star of the Lifetime movie Vanished in Death Valley. Thank you for being here with us, Aryè.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, um, what can you tell us about your character in Vanished in Death Valley?
Well, without giving spoilers, right? So my character, her and her family, we go on a sort of cross-country move because I recently got a job promotion that takes us to California, Northern California. And on the way there, we go through Death Valley because we wanted to explore and see sights. We had never been to California. And that's, when trouble ensues because on the way there, we make a few stops for entertainment and to kind of see the touristy stuff. And our daughter gets abducted. And so that's when sort of the movie, kind of takes off because then it's the journey of me trying to basically figure out who did it. And it's a small town and it feels like everybody's involved. And it's like, who do I trust? Who do I not? And how do I get my daughter back?
Yeah. And what initially attracted you to your role in this movie?
Well, see, a lot of the times, women kind of are the victims or the men are there to sort of like leadership and the women are just like to like moral support. And what I love about Kayla, my character and her journey is that she's really the sort of um the leader of the pack, in all kinds of sense. She's the one that doesn't accept the answers from the police and from everybody. She's the one that doesn't settle for what she's getting and knows something else is off. Because in the beginning, we're just sort of like, well, maybe she just kind of went on a escapade, or maybe she's playing around and the motherly instinct, she knows something is off. So I love that she's that kind of woman that not only knows how to follow her instincts, she is very strong. She doesn't, no offense to men, but like she doesn't expect her husband to go and fight her battles. She'll do it for them. You know what I mean? And I think that's that type of leadership, that type of strength in a woman is really what attracted me, and not being, the helpless victim. Which, listen, there's place for that as well, but I love playing the strength that she has, especially when it comes to her family.
Yeah, amazing. So, and what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating?
Honestly, I think there's a great message about family. And this is not a perfect family, and you see that from the beginning. There's already a tension because there's this sort of Kayla gets a promotion and it does upheaval their whole lives. Like her daughter is a teenager, so moving across country when you're in your teens, it's like the end of the world. You're losing all your friends and everything. And for her husband, he had sort of been off work so that she could pursue her career, and he was getting ready to start a new job, and now he can't do that because now they're, so basically her choices have really derailed the family's life. And we feel that from the beginning, and we feel that they're not at a good place, even though you know they're doing it for her, but it feels like there's a tension there. The dad and the daughter are much closer because they feel like they're getting screwed, forgive my French.
Yeah,
So, and I feel like there's a lot of that in the family world, where it's like sometimes people have to give in so that some people can go somewhere, and then eventually the family kind of gets on board. So to start in that place and then figure out what's really important, I think it's a huge message that the movie has. At the end of the day, what's really important is being together, is being a family, right?
yeah,
And it's one of those things where like it takes a huge event for it to happen for them to realize what's really important. I think that's what is a beautiful message of the movie. I think it's, again, going back to family. I think I'm a big family person, so getting to see that and getting to see them coming together, them as a couple to find their daughter, but also them as a family towards the end, I think that's very important.
great. And talking about the environment on set, what was it like working with the rest of the cast and crew?
Oh, it was amazing. The gentleman that plays my husband, Matt Polkamp, I this is our third movie together.
Yeah,
So we go back. This is our third Lifetime movie together, ironically. So it was great because I mean I've known Matt for years now, and so that was really great. And then everybody else, I was I didn't know them, but I felt like we became very tight very quickly. The crew was amazing, and we had an amazing crew, very organized, very disciplined, very kind. I think that's so important because these shoots, especially this one, we had a lot of night shifts. So you're working until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and having actors and crew that are in a good state of mind so that when it's 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody wants to go home. There's
Yeah,
one day our lunchtime, which lunch was like 1 a.m. or something, we were like doing a dance party because it's like we have to lift each other up in order to get to the next 4 hours.
yeah.
So I had a really great time because the environment was so positive. The crew was amazing and so kind. The cast, there's no friction. There was nobody that didn't get along. So truly, it was a really great experience.
Great. And what can you tease about your character journey?
What can I tease? I'll give you a little thing. We This is the first time that we got some stunts involved. I've never had a movie that had so many stunts, and this movie has a lot of stunts.
Ooh.
And my character got to do a few of them. I mean, again, not me. Stunt doubles for that. So what I can tease is that there's some pretty interesting situations that you don't typically see in Lifetime movies. You don't typically see. I think I forgot what the number was. I think it was like including car stunts, like 15 or 18 or something like that. It was a pretty high number for which is pretty crazy for a Lifetime movie. So it's a little action packed, and so that's what I'll tease is that there's definitely a little bit more action, a little bit more excitement that I think of people will enjoy.
Is your character ever stunt?
I had a stunt double, yes. I've actually been doing stunt classes for a while, but there's some things that were a little beyond my capacity. So I did some of the simple things, and then we had a professional, do a couple of the harder ones. So yeah.
How is it like see your double stunt, your character make this stuff?
It was very interesting because this girl was like she should be like in a Marvel movie or something. She's insane. She's so badass. Sorry, but she was so cool. And they had to make her look like me, the outfit, the hair, and everything. So, and from the back, like if you see her from afar, I was like, oh my god, she like I could see that. And I got to see a little bit of the clip, you can't tell it's not me. And I thought that was so cool because then I felt like a cool badass. I was like, that could have been me. So yeah, it was bizarre, but at the same time, really cool. And it kind of inspired me because, like I said, I've been doing a little bit of the hand to hand combat stuff. So I was like, I want to be like her. Like I want to do cool stuff like her. It was cool.
Yeah. So, how would you describe this movie with 3 words?
Ooh, 3 words. Okay. It's a tough one. Okay. Heartwarming. That's
Yeah.
kind of 2 words. Kind of was one. It's a dash, so it doesn't count. Uh, action packed
Yeah.
and family friendly.
Great.
Double words, but we'll squish them together, right?
It's great. Question about this movie. What was your favorite scene or moment while filming it?
Um, let's see. I had a couple. But I think my favorite one is there's not a ton of moments where I got to connect with my daughter because of the fight, and there's a few moments that I got to do that. And that felt really special because even with the actress Ava, who played my daughter, it was important to have that because I feel like because there is such an attention throughout the whole movie, to have those little bit of moments where you do get to feel the motherly love. And same thing with Matt's character, where we get to feel they love each other, I think are important, but also for me as an actor helped to ground the character, that know that even though there's all the stuff in the background of where they're at in terms of their fighting and in terms of their lives, deep down there's that love. So shooting those scenes and being present for those, I think was important to me, and it made it nicer because I feel like sometimes the character was, she felt a little like the underdog, like hated by her whole family for a while. So it was nice to get to connect and remember that that's what's really underneath everything, even with all the arguments, all the fights, and everything like that.
Great. So, change of subject. Talking about your career in general, this is a question I ask to all the artists I have the pleasure to talk with. What have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career, and why for you?
So I would say there's two projects that kind of connected in a way that meant a lot. The first one is called Passport to Freedom. It's a Sony limited series that is 8 episodes. It was on Amazon Prime for a while. I'm not sure if it still is, but it was an interesting project for two reasons. One, it's all in English, but it was shot in my hometown of Brazil. So I'm originally from Brazil, born and raised. So it was the first time as an adult that I got to go home and shoot something, ironically in English, but and get to be home for quite some time. All through COVID, that was a mess, but we made it. And what was also really special is the director of that project is someone that I used to work with as a child when I used to act in Brazil. So it was a really like full circle moment of like this guy that I knew since I was like 8 or 9, haven't talked to in a long time. We reconnected randomly. And now I get to shoot. It was my very first series regular role for my career with this person that I've known for years and has a very reputable career in Brazil and is a fantastic director. So that was really special. We shot in Brazil in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So that was right through COVID. We got stopped because of COVID and then came back. And then the second one, which kind of sort of came because of this project, is another Sony Unlimited series called Real Connection. That one is available on Tubi right now. It's also 8 episodes. And that one was my first time being the lead of a series, like a female lead. So that was another really, really special thing. Again, it's in English, but it was also shot in Brazil. Both of those are true stories. So the first one is based on a story. Passport to Freedom was based on a story that happened during the Holocaust. That there was a Brazilian consulate woman that would help Jews escape Nazi Germany. So that was really special. I finally got to play a Brazilian in that one because I never get to play a Brazilian because of the space. Really cool, like to finally get to play what I am.
Yeah.
Then the second one, also based on a true story, and it was based on, but basically back in the 70s, there were 3 European gangsters that got together and used Brazil as an export to ship heroin to the United States. So both of these are true stories, based on true stories. And Rio in particular, my character, she's the lead of the BNDD, which is the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs. And going back to what I said about Kayla, about being strong, powerful woman, back in the 70s, there were no women at that position. There's no such thing as a woman in the head of the BNDD, and nobody took her seriously. So it's ironic to see that this woman is really the woman that kind of put all the pieces together, and all the men couldn't do it, and they didn't think she could because she's the woman. So again, those two stories have like a special place in my heart, not only because I got to shoot it in my home country, but also spread it with the world. It went internationally, went to Europe, Canada, Australia, Japan, everywhere. But also because they are two really special characters for different reasons. So that was, I think, the highlights.
That's great. So, talking about your future project, I saw you have two projects in store for us. The first one it is a catharsis, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can you tease about this one?
So Catharsis is a special project because actually a really good friend of mine wrote it, and it's based on her personal experience that she went through during COVID. And because during COVID, she also lost her mom, and it was really tough for her. And so to she used art to sort of heal herself. So it's a really special project because it comes from a really deep place of her experience, and just to be able to, she asked me to be a part of it, and I was of course, it's a girlfriend of mine. She's very talented, great writer. Deborah Leese, by the way, she just actually wrote a book that was published this past year. So that was, it was a little bit of a passion project just to be able to support someone that I care about.
Great. So another project, A Place
Mhm.
Apart. And what can you tell us about A Place Apart?
So A Place Apart, it's a funny story because I shot that quite a while ago. And it's an interesting story that again, I was a director that I had known for a long time. And he asked me to be a part of this. And of course I said yes. And I can't share much about the story because it's sort of like a mystery.
Yeah.
Um, but what I can say is that my character is not quite what she seems,
Oh,
and yeah, and hopefully, like I said, it's been quite some time, so I haven't seen an edit yet to see what it looks like. But I know it's going to be a very interesting journey.
great. So the last question, can you tease something about your next projects? What you're going to film next?
So I can't talk much about it, but what I can say is that I've been really focusing on expanding my career internationally. Besides Brazil, and I went to Europe this past November. I have Italian heritage, so I have an EU
Oh,
passport. Yeah, so I know I've always been planning to work a lot in the EU or in London as well. So there's definitely things that are going to be coming that are international. We'll just say that. So that's all I can say for now.
oh, okay. Great. We are looking forward to to know more about this.
Yeah. I look forward to sharing hopefully soon.
So this is it. Make sure, all of you, to coach Vanished in Death Valley this Sunday night on Lifetime Channel. And thank
Yeah.
you, Aryè, to join us today. It's
Thank you so much for having me. This is fun.
a pleasure. And thank you all for watching. Bye!